Okay, now stop using so I actually tells me to do substitution while we're here. So the first thing I'll do is I'll bring the x down and then the f plus y squared. So I'm going to bring the dx up, so the dx will end up here. I'll bring the x down, and then I'll bring the 5 plus y squared underneath. So it'll end up being y over 5 plus y squared. The y equals 1 over x dx. We can integrate the right side pretty easily, but the left side looks pretty difficult. Now, the thing to remember is, when you get one of these fraction ones, is the derivative of one of them pretty similar to the other one? When I differentiate the yellow one, I'm going to get 2y, haven't I? And 2y is pretty similar to y, so I think I can work with that. So just give me a minute. So what we're going to do is a u substitution. We're going to say let u equal 5 plus y squared, and then we're going to say du dy is 2y. Therefore, a half du is y to y. See that? And does everybody see the y to y up here? See that y to y? That's going to turn into du. That's du. The y 5 plus y squared on the bottom is 1 over u. And now we should be able to get this off the ground now. Now, well, and a half, yeah. So half of du. So there's also it's a half du as well. See the half? I'm going to bring it outside. Is that okay with you guys? Now, just be aware of the limits for a second. The limits, I'm not going to do the limits till after I integrate. You'll see why in a second. So I'm going to integrate. I'm going to change it back into y, and then I'll do the limits. Is that right? You can also do what's called a change of limits if you want. So, but we don't need to do that. So just for the time being, just integrate it for a minute. So what's the limits on this one again? Anybody tell me? 1 and x on 1, yeah? So would you all agree that it's ln x from 1 to x, yeah? And this one here, I don't really know the limits because those were y limits we had a minute ago, weren't they? So here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to do we're going to do a half, go straight through, ln u. Okay. But what can we change a half ln u into? We can change it into a half ln, what's the y value again, guys? 5 plus y squared. Is it lagging? Lag. And then 5 plus y squared, okay? And then what's the limits of the y again? 2 and y. That's x and 1. Give me a sec. Okay. So, so we're going to integrate this now, yeah? So, would you agree with it's going to be a half ln 5 plus y squared? Oh, sorry, it's the top one, take away the bottom one, isn't it? That's upside down, isn't it? Yeah. So it should be 2 on the bottom and y on top minus a half ln, would you agree it's half ln 9? And then equals ln x minus ln 1. What is ln 1? 0. We're okay with that. And then ln ln9 is actually the same thing as ln3. Can anybody tell me why? Do you know the power rule where you bring it in? And it's ln9 to the power of a half, which is actually ln3. So it's going to be a half ln 5 plus y squared equals ln x. That'll be plus ln3, won't it? And what's the rule for logs in that case? Add them together, and what do we get? ln 3x, yeah. Okay. What is ln1? Yeah. ln1 0. Thanks, though. Just I could quite easily forget stuff today, right? So it's going to be a half ln 5 plus y squared, okay? Now, what I'm thinking next to do is, see that 2? I could cross multiply that to where? Where will I send it? Send it up to there. Send that where? In here. And what's 3x to be squared? Anybody? 9x squared, yeah? Now, yeah, we're about to get it. Just cancel the ln's on both sides because they mean the same thing. Bring the 5 over to your side. Square root. Why am I only concerned with the positive version? Can anybody tell me? What are the limits again? Huh? 1 and 2, was it? Okay. So y equals 2 when x equals 1. So we're happy with that one. Now, the y dx equals y minus x squared over 1 plus x. Okay, so I'm going to factorize out the bottom. I think 1 over, oh, I know this one. This one's annoying. I haven't seen one of these in a long time. Everybody happy with the start? And everybody happy with 1 over y, the y ends up to be 1 minus x over 1 plus x dx. You okay with that? Now, will we just use the quotient rule for integration? There is no quotient rule for integration. It doesn't exist. So here's the rule, right? We're going to use substitution. Now, what substitution should we use? We could turn them into partial fractions. Does that work? 1 over 1 plus x. 1 minus x. Wasn't the way I would have done it. You have to be out of nowhere. I'm going to show you the way I was thinking about doing it. I'll show you the way I was thinking about doing it, okay? I was thinking about using a substitution. And it's a weird one, this one, right? I was going to say that u equals, I wasn't going to do it the way the book has it done. I was going to use u equals 1 plus x, okay? And u equals 1 plus x. Is that right? Then 1 minus x. No, I can't do it that way either. No, I wasn't going to do it that way either. It turns out, nope. Okay, so we're sort of stuck here because the derivative of u wouldn't work, would it? No. So does anybody remember doing partial fractions in there? Anybody remember doing partial fractions? Yeah, I think we're going to have to go down this route. Yeah. Perhaps, yeah, let's try it out. Would you be happy with a over 1 plus x plus b over 1 plus x equals 1 minus x over plus x? Right, let's see if we can work it this way. Don't know if it will work or not, but we'll give it a whirl. Could end up with something more complicated. says it should work. So we'll give it a go. Okay. Right, so are you ready for this? Oh wait, that won't work either. Because they're the same denominator. Well, yeah. First time doing one of these ones actually unusual. So what you're thinking about is splitting it like this, is it? Actually, that give me a use of. Yeah, got you now. Thanks. Sorry guys, this works a bit better. Let me explain, right? So we have 1 over y to y equals, it's going to be, the dx can act on both parts separately, okay, is that all right? So the dx can act on this part, the 1 over 1 plus x part, dx, that's all right. And then if you're wondering what I'm doing there, imagine I got you to integrate 1 plus 5 plus x dx. It's the same as integrating 5 dx and integrating x dx. See the way you can do them separately rather than one go? Ever see that? You do them separately. So I'm going to treat that the same way here, and I'll be like looking at integrating like this. Okay. Now all of a sudden that u substitution I was thinking about earlier will actually work. So if I say u equals 1 plus x, okay, u equals 1 plus x, du dx will equal what, guys? 1. Therefore du equals dx. That's the first part, all right? And then the next part is, see the x on top? If I bring the 1 over the other side, x is actually equal to u take away 1. Now check out what happens here. 1 over y to y equals, that's an easy one to integrate, isn't it? We might integrate these as we go along, actually. What are the limits for y? 1 and y, and x is 0 and x, yeah? And that would be, sorry, x and 0, y and 1. Okay, and you know what? I'll just get into actually doing this. So would everybody agree that that's lmy from y and 1? What do you think the answer to this one is? Anybody? ln 1 plus x from what? X and 0. Now the hard one's this one. So what do we think we change this into again? Would you all agree to u on the bottom? And what did I change the top into? I changed the top into u minus 1. You're going, what's that any easier? What did you do? It's going to be u over u minus 1 over u. Yeah, but if I could have, I didn't see it. I'm not lying, I'm struggling with this question. I'm going to get there in a roundabout way, but I will get there. Okay, so what's that make this one then? 1 minus 1 over u, yeah? It's going to integrate that, and I'll put on the limits later. So I'm going to integrate that one. Minus the integral of u minus ln u. What is u again? It's x plus 1 minus ln x plus 1. I'll come back and see if there's an easier way of getting this one done later. This here is going to be what? It's going to be lny minus ln. 1, what is ln1? 0. So that doesn't matter, it's gone. Okay. And then likewise over here, it's going to be ln1 plus x minus ln1. And once again, that ln1 doesn't matter. Now I'm onto this part here. Now what are the limits for this again? X and 0. So it's going to be minus, dear God, it's going to be minus, just looking at the answer here. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're about to be good. We're okay. So it's minus x plus 1. And then we insert the x into here, and what? Here, give me a second. Not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting to be struggling with this one. See all this? Just gonna ignore the minus for a minute. That minus doesn't exist. But whatever I get, we're taking it away. Is that right? So I'm just gonna do this one on my own here. So it's going to be x plus 1 minus ln x plus 1. And it's going to be minus 0, 1, ln1. ln1 doesn't matter. The 1's cancel. So basically I'm just left with x minus. Yeah, the only part that's usable is this part here. See those two highlighted parts? They're the only parts that are usable. And I'm taking them away, haven't I? So when I take them away, it's going to be minus x plus ln x plus 1. And you'll be happy to know we're on track to getting this right now. Thank God. All right. So it's lny equals 2 ln1 plus x. Take away x. Yeah, we got it. And then just need to base e this and we're sorted. Okay. Here's the next part. Y equals e to the power of 2 ln 1 plus x minus x. And if you want, that's the answer. You don't have to do anything with it, but if you were to do something with it, you could separate out the powers. Like this. Can anybody tell me what's e to the power of, for argument's sake, what's the power, what's e ln 5? What would be the answer for that? 5. Agreed? Okay. And then technically that 2 can go in here as a squared. So what would e, so what would e ln 1 plus x squared be then? Just be 1 plus x squared, wouldn't it? And e minus x would be ex on the bottom. And that is our answer from the book. The book has it done in a different way that's a lot quicker, but I just don't know where they pulled the partial fraction from. Would be my main issue. They just pulled it out of nowhere. Right. Sorry.